All right, welcome to our explainer. Today, we are taking a deep dive into Nvidia. You know, in just a couple of years, this company has absolutely skyrocketed. It went from being a favorite for PC gamers to, well, the undisputed engine of the entire AI revolution. The big question is, how on earth did they do it? Let's dig in.
Look, if you want to understand the absolute mania around Nvidia, you really only need to see this one number, 581.3%. That's their net income growth in a single year. Seriously, that is not a typo. This is the kind of, explosive growth that has put Nvidia right at the center of the global economy, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll look at those unbelievable growth numbers. Then we're going to go inside the AI data centers because that's where the magic is really happening. We'll also uncover their secret weapon, this software moat called CUDA, before looking at some potential cracks in their armor. And finally, we'll get to the biggest question of all. Is this whole thing an AI bubble, or is it a brand new reality? Okay, let's kick things off with Nvidia's unbelievable growth. And I'm not kidding, we're about to see a financial trajectory that is, well, it's something we've almost never seen before in modern corporate history. I mean, the speed of this growth is just stunning. In fiscal 2023, the company made just under $27 billion. Fast forward just 2 years, and that number is projected to hit over $130 billion. That's not doubling, it's not tripling, we're talking about a nearly 5-fold increase. And it's almost all thanks to the generative AI revolution. But here's the thing, it's not just about the revenue, it's the profitability that's truly mind-blowing. In just one quarter, for every single dollar in revenue Nvidia brought in, more than half of it, more than 50 cents, was pure profit. Margins like that are practically unheard of, even in the tech world. You know, the easiest way to think about Nvidia's business is that classic gold rush analogy, right? During the California gold rush, the people who consistently got rich weren't the ones digging for gold, but the folks selling the picks and shovels. Well, in today's AI gold rush, Nvidia is selling the essential tools, those super powerful chips that pretty much everyone needs to strike AI gold. So who is buying all these picks and shovels? Well, that takes us inside the AI data center. This is the absolute core of the growth engine, and it's where all the real money is being made. This chart right here, it tells the whole story. I mean, sure, Nvidia was built on gaming, but that's now just about 8% of their business. The data center segment, which, let's be honest, is basically just a stand-in for AI, now makes up a staggering 90% of their total revenue. This isn't just a pivot, folks. It's a total reinvention of the company. So what exactly are they selling? It's all about their latest chip design, what they call the Blackwell architecture. Think of it as the new blueprint for their chips. And this one is way more than just a small upgrade. It delivers 10 times the performance for the same amount of power. The demand has been insane, hitting $11 billion in sales in its very first quarter. Their CFO even called it the quickest product ramp in the company's entire history. And you don't have to take my word for it. The company's CEO, Jensen Huang, he put it very simply, very bluntly. Cloud GPUs are sold out. That's not some kind of sales pitch, it's just reality. Demand is so high they literally cannot make these things fast enough. Okay, but if the chips are so profitable, why can't competitors just swoop in and build a better one? That brings us to Nvidia's secret weapon, the CUDA software moat. This is their hidden and maybe their most powerful competitive advantage. So, what the heck is CUDA? Well, in simple terms, it's the software layer that lets developers actually use all that powerful hardware to build AI apps. Think of it like the operating system for AI. Without CUDA, that super powerful GPU is just it's a very expensive paperweight. And this software creates an incredibly deep moat around their business. Get this, Nvidia has been building the CUDA ecosystem for almost 2 decades. Millions of developers are trained on it, and there are literally trillions of dollars in existing infrastructure that depends on it. So a competitor can't just build a better chip. They have to somehow replicate this entire ecosystem. For a customer to switch would be incredibly difficult and super expensive. It creates this powerful lock-in effect.
So far, I know it sounds like an unstoppable force, but every great success story has its risks. So now, we're going to go looking for the cracks in the armor and explore the real threats to Nvidia's dominance.
And this is the question that probably keeps investors up at night. The numbers are incredible, the moat is deep, but no company's dominance is ever guaranteed. So let's talk about some of the headwinds they're facing. We're going to focus on 3 big ones. First, this extreme reliance on just a few customers. Second, the threat that those very same customers are becoming their competitors. And third, the totally unpredictable world of geopolitics.
So risk number one is customer concentration. A staggering 85% of Nvidia's total revenue comes from just a handful of their biggest customers. We're talking about the big cloud giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. Now think about that. If even one of them decides to slow down spending, it would have a massive, massive impact on Nvidia's bottom line.
And what makes that even trickier is that these customers are also turning into competitors. That's right, they are all developing their own custom AI chips in-house. Google has its TPUs, Amazon has Trainium, Microsoft has Maya. It's a long-term trend that could seriously eat into Nvidia's market share and, maybe more importantly, their ability to charge such high prices.
And finally, there's geopolitics. And this isn't some what-if scenario. It has a real price tag. The US government's ban on exporting advanced AI chips to China forced Nvidia to take a one-time charge of $5.5 billion. That's billion with a B. It's just a stark reminder of how a government policy decision can directly hit the business hard.
So, with all that said, how does this all come together? That brings us to our final and biggest question. Is Nvidia's spectacular rise a massive bubble just waiting to pop? Or is it the foundation of a whole new reality?
The numbers here are just mind-bending. A market cap over $4.5 trillion, making it the most valuable company in the world. But the key number to look at here is the PE ratio, sitting at nearly 53. Now, in simple terms, that means investors are willing to pay $53 for every single dollar of the company's annual profit. That's a price that reflects incredibly high expectations. It's a massive bet that this explosive growth is going to continue for a long, long time.
And you can bet Nvidia's management is fueling those expectations. CEO Jensen Huang projects that the total market for AI spending will reach $3 to $4 trillion by the end of the decade. So in their eyes, this isn't the peak. This is just the beginning of a much, much bigger wave. And so it all comes down to this. The argument for Nvidia rests on that undeniable growth, a powerful software moat, and a colossal market opportunity. The argument against it points to that extreme customer concentration, rising competition, and a valuation that leaves absolutely zero room for error. The crucial question is, which story do you believe? Are we watching the beginning of a new technological era unfold, or are we just watching the peak of the most spectacular bubble we've ever seen?